Hello, my loves. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome in to this video for how to find your birth information on astro.com. I'm going to be diving into how to enter in your birth data, how to run a chart, and then I'm going to be diving into what you're looking at once the chart is generated. I'm going to cover all 12 of the zodiac signs and all 12 houses. I'll also tell you the house system that I am using for simplicity and how to change the house system depending on what you want to look into and what feels most resonant for you. Lastly, we'll talk about how to find out where any astrological event is currently occurring in your chart. I encourage you to use the scrolling bar to navigate this video because you may or may not have need to learn some of the things that I'm describing here. So use the navigation bar to take you to the places you need to be. So let's get started. So first things first, we are going to go to astro.com. And then it's going to talk about privacy here. You're going to have to agree to the privacy, or you can click more options if you want to learn more about this privacy setting. And then you're going to go over here to charts and calculations. You're going to scroll down to the second option, which is the extended chart selection. And then here's where you can enter in your birth data. Now, you can also log in if you've been here before. Astro.com allows you to save up to 100 chart information. So different people in your lives, you can enter in their birth data only once and astro.com will save it. Then you can run their chart in any form that you want to. You can run comparison, synergy charts. It's very interesting, but if all of this is over your head, that's okay. We can start simple and get more complex from there. So you're just going to enter in the birth data to start. Again, it's going to talk to you about privacy. You're going to accept. And this is a made up person. So we're going to enter in Sarah Higgins. She's a female, and she was born on the 11th of April, 1966 at 2:57. Then you're going to select the country. And if you guys don't know your birth time, you can always dowse for your birth time. I have a tutorial video that'll take you through that process. This birth time is very important for you to have so you can understand more about yourself. So don't let not knowing your birth time stop you. Go ahead and watch that tutorial video and get your birth time. So now we're going to enter in the birth town. So you just basically start typing, and then it's going to give you a drop-down list. There it is. And then you're going to select continue once you've entered in your birth data into this birth data entry. And then right before you do, if you look up here, you can notice that there is already a snapshot of the top 3. So these are like the top 3 things that everybody will ask you about: your sun, your moon, and your rising. So they're right here. The first one, the circle with the dot, that's the sun symbol. And then next to it is the sign that it's in. And we'll go over the signs, the symbols, and what they mean in a moment. So this is the moon. So that's the moon sign right here and right next to that. And the AC stands for ascending, which is the ascending sign. And it shows you what sign that is in as well. So that shows up right here at the top, even when you enter in the birth data, even before you press continue and run the chart. So if you're looking for like just a quick information about your sun, moon, and rising, you can actually just stop here. But we're going to dive deeper. Okay, now we have the horoscope entered in for this person. So if at any point you want to look up your horoscope or somebody else's horoscope after this point, you can just go to this drop-down menu. It'll have everybody on your list here that you've added. You can add more people here or edit any information that you've put in right here. Right here, we're looking at the chart selection area. You're going to leave it on the natal chart wheel for now, and you're going to leave it as default. Now, I was talking about the houses. I am going to start using the whole house system because I think the whole house system is the most simple and easy to understand and easy to work with system of the houses. And so that is what I'm going to be doing in all of my readings going forward. It doesn't matter what house system you use. So the Placidus is the one that is the default that most astrological chart generators will generate. It'll generate the Placidus house system. All the houses are not equal, and the houses are broken up into different sections. So I like to use the whole house system because it's the simplest. Now, if you didn't understand any of that, that's okay. Stay with me here. You're going to select anything different from the Placidus house system. You're going to go to where it says Zodiac and houses, and you're going to click this little plus sign here. And now we're going to be able to select the house system. You're going to have to do the drop down menus. You see the first one here is the Placidus. Equal was another one that I was talking about. That will start the house at the degree point that your ascending is on. If you know what I'm talking about, great. If not, that's fine. The whole house system will start the houses at 0 degrees of the sign that your ascending is in. This is why I like to use it. It's very simple. You can just know what your ascending is and then figure out where anything else is happening in your chart. It's just a simpler system, and that's what I use. So here is where you decide which house you want. I'm going to use the whole house system. Again, use whatever system you feel called to. The other options are Equal and Placidus. But I am going to do the whole house system, and I'm going to show you what this chart looks. So once you've selected your data here, you're just going to click on Show the Chart. So here we have Sarah Higgins' chart right here. So do not get overwhelmed by all of this information here. There's a lot to look at, but it's actually a lot more simple than you might think. And if you scroll down all the way here, it's all already spelled out for you in this box in the lower left. Okay, so that's a quick, this will show you all of the different symbols for the planets and which planet it's talking about or which aspect it's talking about. And then it'll show you the sign. It gives you an abbreviation for the name of the zodiac so that you can just look down there for a quick snapshot of your chart. Okay, let's go back up. So it seems, again, like there's a lot to look at, but just stay with me here. Not as complicated. So the first thing that you're going to want to concern yourself with is this outer ring. This is where the zodiac signs are going to appear. Now, the zodiac signs always appear in the same order. They don't always appear in the same place because the orientation of the chart is represented by your ascending sign. So we're always going to have Aries, which is the symbol here. Aries is the first fire sign of the zodiac, symbolized by what looks like the ram horns. Ram is the symbol for the Aries. Now we have Taurus here. Taurus is the first earth sign of the zodiac. Taurus is the energy of the bull. So the symbol kind of looks like a bull. Then we have Gemini here. Gemini is the first air sign of the zodiac. It's represented by the symbol of the twins. So you can see there's 2 lines there representing the 2 twins. Next we have Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. It's the sign of the crab. It's represented by the 2 pinchers there, the 2 crab pinchers. Next, we have the second fire sign of the zodiac, which is Leo. This kind of looks like a lion's mane. So that's how I remember that it's Leo for the lion, which is the symbol of the constellation or the zodiac of Leo. Next, we have the second earth sign of the zodiac, which is Virgo. Virgo is represented by the Virgin. And for me, it kind of looks like an M for maiden. And then it's like crossing its legs like a maiden would. The second air sign of the zodiac story is Libra, which is represented by the scales. And you can see the symbol here kind of looks like scales. Next, we have the second water sign of the zodiac, which is Scorpio, represented by the scorpion. You see the M, and it kind of looks like it has the scorpion stinger as the tail. Now we're going to look at the third and final fire sign of the zodiac story, which is the Sagittarius Archer archetype. And you can see the symbol looks like a bow and arrow. I think the most confusing symbol is this one right here, the next one, which is the third earth sign of the zodiac, which is Capricorn, represented by the sea goat. If you've seen pictures of the mythical sea goat, this does kind of look like that. But I think it is one of the hardest symbols to remember, but it is the sign of the Capricorn archetype, the sea goat energy right here. The third and final air sign of the zodiac is Aquarius. You can see it represented by these 2 wavy lines. Now, Aquarius is known as the water bringer, but it is an air sign. If you think about our planet, what moves the water around the planet? Well, it's the air. So air is the Aquarian energy of the water bringer. And these 2 wavy lines look like water. but remember, it's an air sign. Last symbol of the zodiac story is Pisces. So Pisces is represented here by the symbol, which looks like two fish, because the energy of Pisces is represented by two fish, and you can see here it kind of looks like two fish. So your chart is going to have all 12 of these signs, and they're going to go in the same order. Now, Aries might not start in the same place in your chart. It does, again, depend on the ascending sign. So it might look a little bit different for all of you, but they're all going to go in the same order. So once you find the symbol for Aries, then you can go around and figure out the rest of the symbols. And like I said, you can always go back to the chart at the bottom to look for the signs as well. Okay. So now let's talk quickly about how do we know a planet or an aspect is in a particular sign. Let's start with the easiest one, the sun sign, which is represented in this chart right here. You can see the blue line is going to be where it is. Sometimes the planets are close together, so you have to look at the little blue lines to indicate where that degree point happens. And you can see the degree point right here, 21 degrees, 28 minutes. And for this chart, because we're using the whole house system, you can use the lines here to determine the degree points. So 0 degrees Aries is always going to start between Pisces and Aries, and 30 degrees Aries is always going to be between Taurus and Aries. Okay. And then you just count the hashtags like you were looking at a ruler. This is 5, 10. It's hard to do with the circle here, but the small one is 5, then the bigger one is 10, and the middle one's 15, 20. And you can see that blue line happens almost right a little bit after that 21 degree point. So we know that this is in the sign of Aries because it's right here and it's right in the sign of Aries. And we can do that all around with all of the other symbols. The ascending signs right here, AC, is in the sign of Virgo. The moon is down here, and the moon is in the sign of Capricorn. So we're also going to talk about the houses here. So how do I find out where something is happening in which house for me? So the houses is the part of the chart that we are going to look at right here. Oops. Part of the chart that we're going to look at right here. So it's this inner circle. Okay. It always is in this position. The 1 and all of the rest of the numbers are always in the same spot in the chart. The chart is oriented based off the houses and off of the ascending. Now, once you know the order of the zodiac, you actually know the energy of the houses as well, because the first house is Aries. The second house is Taurus. The third house is Gemini, and so on, all the way to the 12th house being Pisces. So the houses represent the where of the zodiac. So this is where the energy expresses. So when you're looking at the houses, you're going to get a little bit more information about where the energy expresses. The sign that it's in is how the energy expresses, and the planet or aspect is what is expressing. So to know which house is in, you're just going to look at these lines right here. And for this one, we're using the whole house system. It's really easy because the house lines match the zodiac lines, but that might not be the case if you're using a different house system. So you're going to go from inside out to determine where something's happening in your chart. So let's say you're trying to look for where a certain moon phase is happening. Let's say we have a full moon in Aries at 16 degrees. Okay. So where is Aries? We're going to find it here on our chart. Aries is right here. And again, I talked about this line being 0. And then it goes up to 30, and it goes in the order of the zodiac. So once you know the order of the zodiac, you know a lot more about your chart than you think you do. We're going to find 16 degrees. Well, 15, 5, 10, 15, 16 is going to be this little line right here. So it happens in the 8th house. Again, the whole house system is much easier to read, which is why I like to use it, because I like to simplify the astrology. It is so powerful to understand yourself through astrology, but I know all of this can be really confusing. So I want to simplify it for you. If you have questions after this video, please just reach out to me. Let me know what I haven't explained well. This is my 3rd attempt at explaining this, and I'm getting better every time, but I may need to do it again, and that's okay. I want you guys to understand what we're talking about. So I've shared with you that the houses align with the order of the zodiac, but I didn't really dive into how you interpret the house with the zodiac rulers. The first house being ruled by Aries, which is the house of self, and it goes deeper and deeper into this understanding. For more understanding of the houses and what areas of their life they represent, I invite you into my readings. In my readings, especially my moon readings, I really focus on these understandings and these placements and how the rulers of the houses kind of shape the area of our lives that the houses represent. Same thing with the planets. I'm not going in depth here with the planets and what they mean, nor am I going in depth with the zodiac and what they mean. So I invite you to dive deeper into the understanding of this with me in my free reading series, which is at devotedandvulnerable.com/readings, or you can get a reading with me, a personalized reading of your chart at devotedandvulnerable.com/services. Reach out for me for more information about the chart readings that I'm offering, and I will dive into your own personal astrology and get you more insight there. And like I said, you can always access the free reading services that I have available as well. In those readings, I do explain in depth what these alignments mean, and we orient it based on what is going on for you in your chart. And then we consult the cards for extra guidance from our support team. And this is where the tutorial ends. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I hope this helped you understand. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.